Hey there guys, and welcome to FP1 and welcome to the instant race reactions from the Sakhir Grand Prix. And I'm laughing because I don't want to cry, but George. Now, obviously, if you've just watched the race, you know there's plenty of things to talk about. Let's start with George Russell. I've never had my emotions gone from being so high to so low to so high again. You gotta feel for him. He's coming in and he did bits this weekend. He's uncomfortable in that car. He's not been designed to fit in that car at all. He's much bigger than Bottas or Hamilton. And yet he's whooped Bottas's ass. Let's be honest here. He ruined him this weekend. Pretty much every single session. Only just missed out in qualifying as well. And really, this does not look good for Bottas this weekend whatsoever. I think Bottas really, to look good, had to destroy Russell. And he hasn't. And when we've been questioning Bottas's form all year, pretty much, this is the exact opposite of what he wanted and what he really needed. So, Bottas, oh God, mate, horrifying. But George, the thing is, he did absolutely nothing wrong. He got Bottas on the start, which was not an easy thing to do. He was on the dirty side of the grid, and Bottas just, I don't know what he did on the start, but he was hopeless. Fell back. George flew through into P1, survived the car, was well ahead, pulling out a gap, got through the first set of pit stops. There was a little bit of a worry with no power, but he got through it. And then Mercedes, they were just cocky. I think they were just too cocky. When, funny enough, both of George's issues were caught. There was a little bit of a scare with the virtual safety car, which put Perez into contention. That was because of Williams and because Latifi. I don't know what happened to that car. Everyone's forgotten that Latifi didn't win this championship at this point, but Latifi was out. And then Aitken, who we'll get on to later, because I'm actually really impressed with him this weekend. But Aitken, in George's car, binned it and caused that safety car, which led to Mercedes doing the double stop and cocking up so royally. Not only was it a slow stop, they put the wrong tyres on. Oh, no. And he's still under investigation. As of the time of recording, we don't know if he's even kept the points that he's got. I was under the influence that he, or under the thinking that he might even get disqualified for that. I don't know. I don't know if they've changed the rules, but I thought if you put the wrong tyres on, that's it, you're done. But we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. They did change it very quickly, which they said in the commentary, which it could be fine, but I don't know, George, and then just went from bad to worse because he looked like he'd get the win again. He was into P2 and then the slow puncture with 6 laps to go, and you've got to feel for him. I think I'm looking at the COVID rules, and given the fact that Lewis supposedly has symptoms, I think George will probably keep the drive for next week. But no, just what an opportunity and what a story as well. The funny thing is, and let me finish this before you. I'm laughing because I don't want to cry, as I said earlier. But the funny thing is, Netflix were with George again, and yet again this curse of Netflix being there. Obviously, Hockenheim last year with Mercedes didn't go very well. Monza this year with Ferrari, I mean, this whole year hasn't gone very well. And now Sakhir GP with George, and it's every single time. The guy is cursed. The guy is cursed. But yeah, I tell you what, he has put a massive stamp of authority, and he has rattled Bottas. He was rattling Bottas all weekend, and really, Bottas he's out of a job. I think at this point, I'm thinking this gives me vibes of when Van Dorn stepped in for Alonso in Bahrain as well in 2016. I want to say, got points in the McLaren Honda, and from then on, Jenson Button was not going to be keeping that drive. It was pretty obvious Van Dorn was in that seat for 2017. This is what I see here with George and Mercedes, and really Mercedes, they owe it to him after the way they screwed up today. Yeah, it was just so not very Mercedes. It really just, yeah, very surprising. I don't know what they were playing at, but there will be conversations had. That mistake will not be made again, that's for certain, and people will probably get fired after that one. And blimey, yeah, I just feel for George, I really do. But moving on to a more positive note, Sergio Perez, the man who is somehow out of a drive this year, and I'll be honest, going up, I guess he's had his most successful year to date, but I was sat there really saying, you know, he's had a good run, like he's had a long time in this sport. Maybe it is time to give a young guy a go. I say young guy, they're giving Sebastian Vettel a go, so I don't know what I'm talking about, but this weekend really did show that he deserved to be in Formula 1, and just the difference in racing points luck. I think he said Force India, I didn't. But they went from a double retirement last weekend to a double podium this weekend. You can't get much better than that, can you? So really just amazing for Sergio. If this is the end of his career, which I really don't think it should be now, definitely for sure, then what a way to end it. But I tell you what, as after Albon's weekend as well, I mean, we can move back to the segment where I rip into Albon again because he was rubbish this weekend. Get it? No, I'm joking. But Albon was not on the pace at all. Out in Q2, nearly out in Q1, might we remember. A lot of people have forgotten that. Perez goes and wins the race. And if that's not I don't know. I just don't know anymore. This Red Bull seat, I thought it was definitely going to Hulk. Then it was definitely going to Albon, and now I really don't know. I don't know where it's going. It could be going to Perez. It could still go to Albon. It's really going to be down to the wire in Abu Dhabi now, because Albon has proven that he can get the results, but he's still not got the consistency. And I don't see that improving in Abu Dhabi. I really, really don't. This was the weekend, especially when Verstappen was out, that Albon had to step up, and he just didn't. Now, at this point, we normally move on to the Ocon slating section, but I can't do that this weekend. And I'll tell you what, I'm waiting for the angry comments. The thing is, when you have a channel like this where you basically spend your time slacking off drivers, when that driver does well, you get a hell of a lot of hate for it. And I am now currently I'm waiting to hear the hate from all the Ocon stands coming out. Because he did, I mean, yes, he was in the right place at the right time, but he has looked a lot stronger over the last few weekends. I've got to put it to him there. And getting P2 today is going to be a massive boost to his confidence. This is the guy, remember, who will be racing its Fernando Alonso next year. And he's going to be ready for that. I mean, young driver Fernando Alonso, let's remember that. The young driver. Yeah. But, yeah, I tell you what, Ocon, fair play to him. He deserved the podium. He's had a bit of a torrid year. Reliability in first has not been to it on his side, but he's not really had the pace, I think, at times either. I'm hoping, this will be the motivational booster that gives him that kind of confidence to work on his form towards the end of this year and into next year as well, because, like I said, he's going to need it. Now, I've said that in the past about Albon, and it's not worked. I've said it in the past about Seb, and it's not happened. But I'm hoping, third time lucky, come on Esteban, prove me right for once. So, who else to talk about? Well, I think we've got to mention the two other stand-ins. Obviously, George standing in for Lewis at Mercedes, but you had Aitken in the Williams and then Fittipaldi in the Haas. Oh, I mean, Fittipaldi, I made that video earlier in the week, and he's not really helped me out. Let's just say that. I mean, you've got to admit, this is both of these guys' first weekends in the sport. We've got to be nice to them. I think we really do. I'm hoping, I think Fittipaldi, now we know Grosjean won't be racing in Abu Dhabi. I think they've confirmed that Fittipaldi will be in his place. So a second weekend, maybe he can start to build off what he's learned in Sakhir, but I'm not sure. He was a little bit more underwhelming than I kind of hoped, and yeah. But Aitken really surprised me. Aitken, I know he had a very, very successful Formula 2 campaign last year. This year it's not been great, but you could put a lot of that down to the Campos car he's in, and really he surprised me. I thought it was, for the majority of Q1, he was going to out-qualify Latifi, and he only just missed out. So, Aitken really surprised a lot of people. Surprised the Williams team, definitely today. And like I said, I feel like if, in the crazy circumstances that we see, and this is 2020 and this is Formula 1, that George does end up moving to Merc next year, it's unlikely, but if it happens, they've got a very good option in Jack Aitken, because I think he's a very strong driver, and he really proved that this weekend. But yeah, those then were just my instant reaction for the Sakhir Grand Prix. Lots on the line next week. Can Renault and McLaren really bring that fight back for P3 in the Constructors' Championship now? It looked like it was going McLaren's way. They didn't really have the best weekend. Really, Norris was all over the place. Norris had a great first lap, though. That we've got to kind of mention. But then they just kind of lost out with the luck and strategy. It looked like Sainz was on for that P3, but it fell away. So what can they do? Can they bring it back? Can Renault maybe bring a fight back to Racing Point in Abu Dhabi? It's going to be really tough. I think Racing Point might just have got this. It's more the battle of fourth between McLaren and Renault we're looking at now. But, that remains to be seen. We'll see how that kind of develops into next week. Lots of things to talk about. Will George get another chance? We pray, please. But yeah, let me know what you thought down in the comments below. And of course, if you are new here, make sure you do leave a like and subscribe on the video as well. And to the channel for much more content like this. So thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a lovely rest of your week, and I will see you all later on.